You are now listening to another episode of the Chanel and Alan Chit Chat Podcast with your hosts, Chanel Marshall and Alan Byrne.
I'm wearing my paint splattered post gangbang clothing here, Chanel. Look at this. Look at the state of it. I'm fucking wrecked, man. Ruined. But the studio.
You really came today, didn't you? You really came today.
I came through today. I did. I brought it today, all over the place. So upstairs is now painted, so you'll be able to move you back. I'm sure you'll really notice the difference. It'll really come through on the camera. The difference between dark eggshell white and white. It's made a world of difference up there.
So what was the reason for painting it?
Well,
it doesn't make a difference.
I did.
It just needed to be fresh.
Yeah, although the color is not really going to change, you won't be able to pick up on the camera. It was pretty grubby, you know what I mean? Just walls that hadn't been painted in like 10 years, so they just get, when you can see, when you're looking at a stain and you're like, I don't know what that is. I'm not.
Yeah.
What is that? No. Well, it's very high though. You just you're like, either way, you don't want to think about that if it's not your house, if it's someone else who's living there beforehand. You don't want to overthink that shit. You just want to be like, you know what, paint over it, move on. The only problem is I got to look at the carpet now as well. Man, the carpet is they did a really shitty job on this house, This is some shit some fucking shitty house, dude. Just trying to fix it all.
Are you starting to regret moving from London?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes. And
no.
I mean, and no. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for that detailed explanation, Alan. It's good because there's lots of stuff to do. You know what I mean? I'm just an unemployed bum, more or less at the moment. So I have no end of shit to do. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting in that. If the house was like finished and perfect, I'd be sitting in the house all the day, going mad. Whereas now I'm actually like, I'm being useful. And I think, and it is, some of it's starting to come together. Like one of the rooms upstairs now is starting to look finished. It's starting to look like it's not shit anymore. So I'm gradually seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's going to be fucking years and months before it's finished. But getting there, Chanel. My creepy, spooky stuff is arriving. My different creepy, shining. Oh, my typewriter. I'll show you my typewriter. One sec. Look at this thing. Weighs a fucking ton, man. Look at this bad boy. A 1965 vintage West German Adler typewriter. This is the thing they were fighting the communists with, Chanel. And I mean that literally, because it weighs more than I do. So if you threw it at a communist, you'd kill them stone dead. It's good, man. It's cool. It's fun. And when you click the keys, they go ching, 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 ching. That's great.
I thought it would have been look older than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was kind of imagining proper old school typewriter.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, like the old vintagey ones. No, that's 1965. So I guess it still has a modern enough look. But that's the one I needed to get, Chanel, because that's the one that's in the movie. That's the one that's in The Shining. That's the one Jack Nicholson uses. So
I've actually used a typewriter, but I can't remember where I was when I used to use one.
At a haunted hotel?
No.
No?
No. It's not my favorite pastime. When I was younger, I remember using a typewriter, but I don't remember where.
I have a very vague memory that my mother had a typewriter, and I don't think she used it really, but it was around from when she had used it. Do you know what I mean? So it was, I remember kind of goofing around on it and typing on it. But again, not really sure what was going on with it. It's crazy, man. Just thinking about the pre-internet, unconnected world is just, I was like typos, how, right?
Oh my God. Imagine you're really knee deep, almost down the bottom of the page, and then you fuck up.
Yeah.
You got to do that shit all over again.
You've written this letter, this perfect, it's for something important. It's It's a breakup letter, or it's the, like, you know, it's one of those important emotional letters where you've explained, listen, our relationship's going through some things, and then it, you know, lots of love, blah and blame, blah shit, right at the end, and now I've got to go back. You know,
you'd have to just like put some water on it and act like it was a teardrop. You was
that's a good cover. That's a good cover. I was just, and just blot out my own. Oh, very nice, Chanel. Look at that. You're built for the typewriter age. She's always crying. Every letter she sends us. This one's just about how we need to pay the gas bill. She was in fucking bits.
Oh my god! I was saying about my mum was reminiscing the other day and saying about phone boxes, because I went to the shop with old Mari, and I was pushing the buggy and I wanted to put the stuff in the bag, whatever. Anyway, so as I've gone and I've stopped and I've looked up, I can feel like eyes on me. So like I've looked up and it's almost in the phone box, and I'm like, oh, maybe she's just standing there. Like just standing, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like I felt myself just staring, like, she's using the phone. She's using the phone. So you're just sheltering. She's using the phone. She's using the phone. She's using the phone. She was just like,
so
using the phone.
So unusual.
I didn't even know they still worked.
Lots of them don't, I think. But yeah, I think the only thing is, I think depending on what country you're in, there's some sort of legal provision whereby I think they have to keep them running because of right to communication or something. Because or from like a point of view of like, I think I might be wrong. I don't know if the UK or if it counts as that or not. But there's, you know, back when nobody had phones, or, you know, you didn't have a mobile phone or whatever, or it's like a poverty thing too, right? So like you're homeless, but you're fucking, the place where you're staying is on fire and you don't have a phone, except now everyone who's homeless has a phone, but you know what I mean? Like they still have to have a way of doing it. Whenever I see someone in a phone box, I just assume they're taking a piss. Like Well,
it wasn't even like an actual one with a door. It was one with like, the ones that is like half a phone box. So it's just basically like the head kind of. So I was thinking she's doing so either just sheltering, I don't know, resting, or she was just sheltering, because there's no other reason why you're in the phone box. Not that you're going to use it or anything, because I was like, who does that?
That's great, man. That's great.
I started remembering back like when I didn't have a phone, and then I'd like go meet my friends, and then you'd call the house phone, and if they answered, you're pissed off because why the fuck are you at home? Because we were supposed to be
you're supposed to be here.
Yeah. And then mum was saying when she was younger, they used to go through like, they had like the switchboard.
Yes.
Like they would do, like they would tell their friends, okay, right, so you're gonna call me at like 6 o'clock. So then they would go to the phone box, like put maybe like 50p in or something.
Yeah.
And then they would say, oh yeah, a collect call. So the person didn't know that it was a phone box. And then they would say, yeah, I accept the charges. And then once it's just going and going and going, and they'll be in the phone bloody for hours.
I bet that's a good
that
move.
Bit of money in. Yeah.
Oh, how clever is that,
on the
man?
phone box, getting your money back. I was like, bloody hell, mate.
That's cool, man. Do you think that would work like long distance? You're just calling Nepal or somewhere. Just fucking, surely someone caught that. That's great. That's a great little scam. I'm trying to think the last time I used a phone box, man. Fucking hell. Because really, like by the time I was even, like by the time I wanted to call friends or whatever, I was always at home, and then like mobile phones were nearly the Nokia 3310 or whatever was nearly around by the time I was actually like going out and trying to do things or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Whatever the first one was, the bricky one. But I also associate them with like, I think it's because I suppose maybe when you were traveling before you wouldn't have a phone. I sort of associate them with airports. I remember using one in an airport. That's the memory I have. They got great. You know what I love though? Love about a phone box, and it's the same thing I love about the typewriter. It's the fifth. You know how big and chunky the keys are, and you really have to press. You have to really press them. That I love all that analog shit, man. I love that. And I bought a record player the other day because you can get them for fucking nothing now. You can get like these new little compact portable record players.
But vinyl is so expensive now.
That's what's expensive. Exactly. Yeah. So the machine is now cheap. The records are expensive. Unless you can find like some second-handy ones. But now everything's who wants second-hand?
Retro.
Retro.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. It's more. It's old. It's old and it's shit, but it costs more than new stuff. Retro.
Yeah.
You're like, hey. But it is cool. I can see why I got it because I wanted to for the room upstairs, kind of as a half decorative featurey thing. Because there's this anyway, whatever. But it does sound cool, man. And the idea and being able to like, you know, you can see the needle, and the needle is like, you know, it's measuring the grooves or whatever the fuck. I don't really know how it works. But like it's you can kind of see it working. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like your phone is just like magic. Like there's nothing tangible about it. You know what I mean? You don't see it. Like at least with the old internet, you could pretend it's really what it is the analog technology makes a dummy like me kind of think I half understand how it works. You know what I mean?
Oh my days. They just made me just like, when you say that, I see how it works. It reminds me of when you would dial up to get on the internet and then you'd be like
bingo. Just that hell noise.
And then that was you saying, oh yeah, at least you know it works, but now you can't hear shit. You just got to go and look for the lights on the bloody well thing when it decides it wants to stop freaking working. You're like, it's not green, it's red. But is it light orange, dark green, yellow? And fuck this internet boxes, and you know, you've been trying to reset them, and it's like it'll, you know, when it's working, the light will flicker once, but when it's reset, the light will flicker once and then twice and then once, or whatever the fuck it is. So you never know. You just end up, doesn't matter, whatever. You hold for 10 seconds and then release. And then the light will come on and stay on. And then you look at it and it's off and it turns blue and it comes back on. And it's just something that wasn't in the manual. And you're like, I have no fuck. All I do, I mean, maybe this is just because this is the age I'm at. I just keep punching it until it works. That's all, you know? I always start with, they're like, okay, hold it for a second to reset it. Just hold it. It says for 1 second. And then you let go and nothing happens. And you're like, so now do I do it again? Or does doing it twice counteract the first one? Because it's magic and I don't understand anything. I don't know how it works. I don't understand. But with that noise, Chanel, you knew. You're right. Because like a dummy like me, I'd hear that noise and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the machine drilling into the internet. That's it making a hole into the internet so it can go inside. You know? I fucking hate it, man. The good old days, eh?
The good old days. I like analog. I think I'm gonna try and analog everything. So I got a record player upstairs. Gonna have a typewriter. I got a dictaphone. This is part of the theme of the Twin Peaks room because the agent in the thing uses a dictaphone. So I got an old cassette dictaphone. Look at this, huh? Got this on eBay. So these are retro, but there's so many of them lying around in people's attics. They're not actually expensive retro. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I got that. So if I turn this into a bed and breakfast place, I'm going to have this so people can leave messages on it for other guests. Creepy. So
yeah, that's creepy. You're a strange individual.
You said that like that's news.
No, you're just solidifying it more and more.
Oh yeah.
More and more, like you and Mako. I don't understand how we're still friends. It's weird because you guys are so different to me. Like it's.
Yeah, but you see, it's the so thing. Different. It's this thing, Chanel. It's the thing about being. What is it? It's like. I was thinking about this the other day because I was thinking about different people I'm friends with, and I was like, God, they're all quite different as well. You know, they're not all the same as each other either. But I think there's a sort of it's like. I'm just looking out the window. I can see my car. So my brain's like, use that as a metaphor. It's like all the cars, just because it's fucking dumb. I'm just like, Just as well I didn't see a rabbit or something. That'd be really hard to make a rabbit metaphor. I saw a hare here running up the driveway yesterday. It was huge. Hares are fucking massive. Because anyway, whatever. So we're all different. We're different cars, but we all have the same engine. That's what I think. I think we have the same engine. It's like you're a totally different machine, like on the outside, like the style, everything. But inside, the thing that makes you tick is the same. It's the same thing. It's the same
Which
thing.
is?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Like
going to
an
really
engine.
blow me away.
Oh, sorry. Did you think I was going to solve the mystery of existence as part of my bullshit metaphor? Sorry to let you down.
I was like, okay, cool. So like, you know what it is. I have it. You have it. Mako has it. It makes us just like the perfect triangle. Like, wow.
Boom.
Okay, great. But you don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
You know, I still love you guys to bits, but you know. I think
that's I know what you mean. Yeah, but I love that. I love that then because it's something more like to do with like the way you think as opposed to the things you think about. Something like that. Like because you know you me might be very different in some ways, but you think in a very similar way than I do. Like lots of time when I'm having a conversation with you. Like I'm about to say something as you say it, or when you say it, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I thought. You know, it might be like, but some of the things I think about, you're like, that content is not content that would ever enter your brain, but you chew that content up in the same way my brain would chew it up. Nom, 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 nom. You know the Muppets, or like a puppet, the way a puppet eats something, because they can't really eat it. They can't really eat it. They're just trying to smash it, and so it kind of falls off screen. Nom, 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 nom. Just like kind of smashing their head into it. I love that. That's why the Cookie Monster is so great. Just because he just mangles it until it sort of disappears.
I used to watch it and be like, what a waste.
You're just thinking of
the cookie.
Take 47. Let's try to get it right this time, people. We have gone through enough cookies to feed a small country. Please, Cookie Monster. Please. Now, I was listening to some interview with someone who'd been on the Muppet Show, and they were saying that, like, if you're on the show, you forget that the puppets aren't the puppeteers. Like, you just start talking to the puppets. I'm like, wow. That's crazy. They were like, because all of your scenes, all of your acting is with the puppet. So like, you can only be like, oh, thanks, that was great. Let's try that again. You can only do that a few more times because you've got to focus on the character that is Elmo. You know what I mean? So they were like, I'm like, that must be great, man. You just
then I can understand how they would, because just like when you would watch, I don't know, like a cartoon or whatever, or even when you watch them, you get involved in it, and you're just like, oh my days, like, oh, that's really sad, or I really want to sing the Elmo song. Like, it's weird, but yeah.
It is funny though, the way that like we can just what?
No, there was a movie, I can't think of what it was called, but it was a new one with what is her name? Melissa something.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. With the puppet, she was a puppet police detective or something.
Right. Yeah. I think I've seen that. I've seen the trailer or whatever it is for that. Yeah.
But that was actually funny, but you kind of forget at certain times it's actually a puppet, and then you remember that it's a puppet. So yeah, I can understand how you can really get like sucked in.
I think. See, I was going to say I'd like to be a puppeteer, but I think I think I'm already too much like a puppet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need you need someone who doesn't seem like a puppet with a puppet to make it work. I could be an under the stage puppeteer, but I couldn't be like a ventriloquist. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm too.
You take away from the puppet, and it just be like, why is this man got
fluff
on his hand?
Just make fluff on his. But then, but that could be my act. The puppet's the straight man, and I'm the goofy one. Hey, smashing cookies into my head. And the
I don't think you'd remember to.
No,
you're too too. To even remember that you've got the fluff on your hand, and all of a sudden you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, this why is my hand like that? Well. Oh yeah, that's why. Oh yeah.
Just going around with just wearing a puppet like a glove, just going into the shops, wearing a full puppet on one hand. Have you ever used a puppet, Chanel? When was the last time you puppeted?
Years ago. I think they came into like primary school, I think it was. And then you get a go with the puppets and that kind of thing. Yeah. I think probably like when I was in primary school. But other than that, not my favorite pastime. You won't catch me in a puppet in a room by myself. It's not something that I'll do. I wouldn't. Well, excuse me, I need my puppet time.
Excuse me.
No, I don't. No. It's not my dish.
That'd be great, man. That'd be great. If I just at this stage found out that you at least I try to get at least half an hour a week. We're all busy, we all have packed schedules, but it's half an hour a week puppet time. Of you puppet time, But that'd be a good way of checking in with yourself, You always say you need to check in yourself. Why not check in with, like, Mr. Lefty or whatever? Really? How was your week?
I did shadow puppet thing with Tamari because there was the lamp on, and then you could see my shadow on the wall. So I was doing that thing, like the hand thing.
Very good.
But other than that,
that's a puppeting. That's puppeting. Shadow puppets are puppets.
So
That sounds like a social movement. Shadow puppets are puppets.
I'm a real boy.
We're like, I think there's more important causes than this at the moment, Alan. Is this really? This
oh my day!
You want to die on?
My mum was telling me that she was watching morning TV, and they were talking. Someone was on there saying that it's offensive to animals if you say to someone, "Oh, like you eat like a pig." It's offensive to the animal, so you shouldn't say things like that, or like you're lazy like a cow. And mum was like, like, are you serious? She was like, yeah, this woman's come on the TV and this is what she's going on about. Like, there's people dying, okay? People starving. People still don't have clean water. And we're worrying about a pig that
we're not.
He's never in earshot. A pig is never in earshot. A pig or a cow is never in earshot when someone says, "Oh, you eat like a pig." Oh, you're
all right.
They're never in earshot.
But for the argument's sake, Chanel, let's say you're out here. Maybe I decide to get some pigs. My father keeps threatening to send me some chickens to look after. Although I don't know how he would send them. But anyway, fucking nobody really checks the post, man. But they don't. You get the stuff I get delivered here, man. I'm like, nobody's watching the ports. This is. I'm just saying, if you want to terror attack Ireland, we're used to exporting our terrorists. No one's thinking that they're coming in the other way. Anyway, if there was a pig just right next to you and I was eating cookies like Cookie Monster,
it's never happened.
No, but I'm saying, what if it happened?
No,
would you feel self-conscious? Would you be like, stop eating like a dog? Would you look at the pig?
Hell no, because he doesn't even understand what the fuck I'm saying. So it can't take offense, can it? Like,
I love it. It
was like, no, this woman she really needs to get a hobby.
That's great, man.
That's just ridiculous. Like, come on.
I love it. No, I disagree. I think this is very important. I'm going to start changing the way I speak. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not eating like a pig. I mean, but what do you say?
the fact that they're killing animals just to kill them, and we're not even eating enough to basically what kind of like balance it out. But
that's the best thing. That's the best thing about that. Like, it's not like let's stop, because I think there's really good arguments for being vegan or for not, or for changing how we kill animals. I'll listen to that, but I'm like, you got to do that first. You can't be like, let's not be rude to the animals we're about to murder for hamburgers.
I know, innit? Like, don't cover the pig's ears. Cover the pig's ears because someone just said, "Oh, you eat like a pig. Cover its ears." Now slit its throat. Okay, then.
Just the pigs on the way to the slaughterhouse, and they're just like, "Right, this guy eats like a pig." Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Sorry. Thank you very much. They kill the pig. You know what I mean? Like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why. See, that was very speciesist of me to assume that pigs talk like that. But you think of them talking kind of like industrialist fat cats. I'm a pig. You never think of a high-pitched pig. You know what I mean? You never think of like, "Hi, I'm a pig." No way, man.
Oh, there's Babe.
Oh, yeah, Babe is kind of a squeaky. He's kind of got a squeak, but he's a piglet, isn't he?
Okay.
When he grew up, Babe would be like, listen to me. It's me, Babe, she pig.
That's if Babe even made it that far.
He didn't, man. He didn't even make it far enough to be offended as an adult. Is there a word for this? Is it speciesist? Is it animal demarcationitarian?
Scooby-Doo. And I shouldn't even say Scooby-Doo because maybe he's offended.
Chanel! I am appalled. I can't believe you said that.
Oh, the joys.
I'm leaving that in the podcast. You don't get to hide from your bigotry. Let the world know I'm outing you. Well, I'm doxing you. You. I don't have a Scooby-Doo, you fucking pig. Don't act all sheepish with me, you dog.
Woof, motherfucker.
Woof, woof. Spit out my coffee. Horror. No?
Oh, wow.
Cancelled.
But yeah, so other than that, like, what's been happening in your life?
What's been happening? Other than just committing awful slurs against the animal kingdom without even knowing I was doing it, I have been painting, and I applied for my hemp license finally, and I don't think I'm going to get that for a bunch of reasons. But my strawberries and chili peppers have started to appear, so that's cool. Got little chili pepper things growing down there. I thought I mixed up the seeds.
Growing down there, yeah.
You ain't
growing down there.
You're going down there. I was trying to indicate the way a chili kind of hangs off a branch, but I do now realize I was just pointing to my cock. Probably explains why the woman I was speaking to in the supermarket was so upset when I was telling her about how well my gardening was going.
It's going on great down there, yeah.
It's all going on down there. Spicy. But yeah, that's hot and spicy. It's all green and curly though. It's funny, They're weird, aren't they? Anyway, cash or card, please, sir. Get the fuck away from me. Security. Security and Kenmare Super Value would be fairly lax now. I'd say I could get away with a good bit of chili-based sexual harassment before I'd get thrown out of the premises. Not that I'd want to. Get thrown out. So chili pepper. I thought I grew a bunch of bell peppers, but I think I've actually grown a bunch of chili peppers instead. I think I mixed up the seeds. So now I'm going to have a fucking rake load of chili peppers. So better get ready for curry from here until forever.
Are they spicy ones or are they like the sweet?
I believe these are the spicy ones, if I remember correctly. Because I got them out of whatever I bought in the supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they'll be the super spicy ones, but I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see. Or wait and taste, I guess. Yeah, and that's going well. And I got new strawberry plants, so I planted more strawberry plants, and I have to. The greenhouse is looking good. It hasn't blown away, so that's good. And I've been on Alibaba ordering a bunch of these vertical planting towers, so when the plants grow out the sides and you hang them from the ceiling. That's pretty cool. So I was haggling in bad Chinese with some lady in Guangdong province. That was fun. It's Chinese New Year now, so everything's shut down, so I won't get them for like months, but whatever. So yeah, everything's good over here. It's slowly coming together, Chanel. The greenhouse I gotta dig. Just the digging never ends. It's just digging forever. You don't even need an update on digging. It's just always digging, forever digging. No digger, just digging. No digger man, digger music, none of that. Just me digging in the rain forever. You
need to make that song, man. You need to make yourself a song, so then it just gives you that push that you need. Digger, 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 digger beef. Digger beef in the building. Digger beef. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could dig to that. I'm trying to think of my digging technique. You got to optimize it for a digging technique. The fuck. And so it's coming together, Chanel. It's slowly starting to come together. The parts of the plan, the greenhouse is slowly coming together. The house, the holiday home, whatever, is slowly coming together, gradualistically. But I feel good. And my other podcast, Golden Goats, that's slowly coming together as well. But that's hard. We got we got the actor from Pan's Labyrinth. We have an Agatha Christie expert, Dr. Mark something, because one of the films is Murder on the Orient Express. So that's an Agatha Christie book. So we talked to this Agatha Christie expert. Because everyone in the film is dead except for one person who is way too famous to ever talk to us ever. And Sean Connery, he was in it too, so we just missed him. Damn it.
Yes, you would have got him, of course.
Of course, yeah, that was it. If only he hadn't died. In fact, I hear that he died just so he wouldn't have to be on our terrible podcast. No, I can't do it. Get me out of here. No, that was terrible. It sounded more like Liam Neeson. Sean Connery. Sean, yes, more Sean. Can you do a Sean Connery impersonation? You looked so disgusted. Is that?
No.
You can't? Come on.
No, I cannot.
You never tried?
I don't think I have, and I don't think I will.
Okay. Is this because you've got your mother's one accent impersonation disease? Hello, I am Sean Connery. I am from China. I'm a Sean Connery talking. Hello, yes, that, yes. Hello, my foreign voice. Yes, da. Oh, okay. It's not from anywhere in particular, but it is sometimes the talking, the loud. What is that? Is she a Martian? Is that your Sean Connery voice? Hello. My name is Sean Connery.
No, I can't, because for some reason I'd want to go into what's his name? Is it Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
Yeah. For some reason I always want to go that direction. I don't know why.
Wait. No matter what accent you're going, you always end up at Michael Caine, or just from Sean Connery to Michael Caine?
Yeah, Sean Connery to Michael Caine. I don't know why, but it will end up over there. And also, if you ask me to do accents like on the spot, I do go, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden they probably will come out sounding probably very offensive. Or not like anything, and I would revert back to my mother.
Yeah, then it becomes the mother, the panic. Yeah.
So it's like if it just naturally flows, like sometimes, like the time when I was in the supermarket and it just automatically just flowed out of me, and I don't know why.
It.
Then fine.
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes an accent just comes out and you're like, "Fuck, I'm nailing this," but it's when you're asked to do one on the spot that it's difficult. I love accents though. There's so I'm trying to think of Michael Caine. Can you do Michael Caine? No, I've asked you on the spot now. You won't be able to do it, will you? I'll have to ask you to do something else. Do Denzel Washington, and then you'll gradually just move towards Michael Caine. Okay, all right.
I don't even like
Michael Caine.
I watched something the other day, and the guy did Denzel Washington, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, that is. But I didn't think he had an accent like I just thought he just sounded like an American man. Like
no, he definitely has a very distinctive way of speaking.
So when the person did it, I was like, that's him. Yeah, he sounds like that. Oh my god, yeah. But I didn't notice it to be like, oh, that's one. Like,
was that a comedian? There is a comedian in the States who does a really good Denzel. I can't think of what his name is now, though.
Yeah, it was a comedian, but I cannot remember what his name was. But yeah,
he even does the laugh and everything. One of the thing with the one I saw it because I tried to learn how to do a Denzel Washington impersonation. I tried for like a week. I just couldn't do it, you know, because I just thought because I thought the payoff. If I somehow managed to do a perfect Denzel Washington impression, how funny would that be coming out of me? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It would be like a potted plant talk, like Michael Caine. It would be, you know what I mean? It would be extra funny. But one of the things about Denzel as well is like when he points like that with his he points at his dick like it's a chili as well. He has these little, the guys were saying, because they say if you do the physicality, it helps with the impression as well, right?
Yeah.
Which again is why doing impressions of people who you're not the same color and shade as actually is more difficult, because people, you think it's all voice, but actually lots of it's like visual as well and stuff. So, but they were saying like he has, and you see him, if you see him in films, he curls his hands like this.
Yeah.
So, which is so, obviously it's just something that he does, but it's, you know, when you really break it down, you're like, that's weird as fuck. No one does that. Like only Denzel. It's not like, you know, like people from wherever he's from in that city, they all point like that. No, the guy looks like a fucking T-Rex. Like, what is that? You know, it's great though. I love it. Okay, all right, okay. He just does, all right, okay. Oh. You know, that kind of like, he goes up then. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love it. It's great. But it is funny that some people, you don't realize they have an accent until you hear someone else doing it. And you're like, oh yeah, that's that narrow thing, man. I love accents. My brother's accent coaching at the moment. Did I tell you that? He's got, because he's like, he does English teaching, but he started teaching this Chinese French bloke, right? So he's French born, ethnically Chinese, whatever, right? Who is an actor. And he's acting in English language films, and my brother was teaching him how to do an American accent. So now he's started doing, and he's then from that he's found someone else who wants him to train him as a voice coach. I was telling him he should try and get into that, man. That's fucking, because actors, you know, they're dummies. They'll pay you money to get, and when you listen to accent, like, you know, when you listen to people doing bad accents like actors, it's painful. It's
the
worse.
Americans with doing Jamaican accents. It's just so destroying, and it's like, come on, like we've come so far, and you guys still can't get it together. Like I don't understand how they can't. The English people. I think it's probably like easier for us to do like a Jamaican accent, but I'm thinking they speak English too, so I understand why it would be hard for them.
It is funny.
I don't get it.
Yeah, or like why? Well, I suppose it's like I can see if you could just be bad at accents in general, right? Fine, right? So then you could be bad at any type of accent. Or I guess maybe the only thing I can think is maybe it's like an exposure thing. So like if you do English people hear more Jamaican accents because there's more Jamaicans per head per capita or something? I don't know. I
just think it's like they always go for the what's I gonna say, like the all right, man, and it's like, come on, these are the only Jamaican people that you know that exist. Like, really? Still?
Well, it's really? Like, I mean, like Irish accents are the same, man. Like there's some new film, I can't think it's called. What's it called? The Wild Grass or something like that. Again, it's a bunch of American accents, American actors doing Irish stuff, and just like just the worst. Hello, how are you? Stepped up in the morning. Like, not even, you know what I mean? It's all like, like, it's just all the shouting noises. Oh, it's the worst, man. Because again, it's like, and you know what, the thing that annoys me, Ashley, right, is, and again, I'm not, I mean, whatever, people, I'm not saying these people are all awful monsters for not doing good accents or doing bad accents, but it does annoy me a bit when you have an accent that's a mixture of different accents. Like if they're doing, which I think that's the key to a bad accent, right? If I hear someone doing like, oh my land, oh my geezer, I'm sort of talking like that. If they're just doing one accent badly, I'm like, okay. But what I really annoys me is like when they're melding different accents, like, so like they're just like, they've got like a few different Irish accents that they've muddled together, or like a few different English accents that are muddled together. That's extra annoying, because I'm like, you're just like, because basically
where the fuck are you from? Where the fuck are you from?
Just,
like, what the hell happened here? Yeah.
But also it just means that you haven't really done any research, because to get it, just to get like, to mix different things together, really what all you've done is you've just been like, yeah, all of Ireland, or like all of whatever it is, Jamaica, or any place, you're just like, yeah, they're all the same. They're just the noises that those people over there make. You know what I mean? It's not like no effort has really gone into the research. Just, that'll do. It's the worst, man. It's the worst.
Oh, but it's like, why do Americans think that we all sound like posh and well-spoken and yes, yes. No, we don't.
It's funny, isn't it? It's funny.
We really do not. It's like,
now, I will say that there are some people who do Irish actors. I heard someone talking about taking the piss out of it the other day, or English actors as well, of course, who do American accents, and like, some of them are fucking terrible as well, for the same reason though, because they're just like, I'm just a generic, it's just American general. Like, again, what part of the country are you from? Like, you can't, I'm an American accent, it's just pan-American. Like, that's not a real thing. No one speaks like, you've got to pick a place and talk like the person. But again, they just do a speech coach. It's just like, just change this and it's rubbish, man. It's rubbish. But I was thinking as well, like in America, like I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, Americans oftentimes think that like certain English accents, like posh English accents, really, that those people are more clever, like they'll listen to them more. Like fucking in American shit, like what's that guy's name? Oliver. Fuck me, I can't think of his name. Something Oliver. He does like, the late night political satire shit in the States. He's a British guy. And some of these other sort of comedic intelligentsia voices. Like, people just think they're smart because they've got English accents, which I'm like, just because you've got like that posh accent doesn't mean you know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just fucking, hello, that's right. Now, not many people know this, but the earth is flat, and you can use motor oil as a beverage. That's not just because you said, it's delicious and it's good for you. Wow, that sounds really, wow, might better write that down. There's like, it's just, why is that though? I guess it's just some weird cultural association people have. Whereas like, I couldn't go over to America with my Irish accent and be like, well, you could, but you wouldn't have the advantage of being like, oh, people should listen to him. People wouldn't be like, oh, I bet he's an intelligent feller. Same with like,
it's sad because they seem like, for some reason, they feel like the Irish are not intelligent because of their accent. It's a bit like, but then it's kind of the same thing with Jamaicans. So,
I was going to say, yeah. It wouldn't be that you were or not. With Jamaicans, like, they're not serious because they're just so relaxed all the time. Everyone's just chilled out, they couldn't do a news program, because they're just, which is so fucking like, well, firstly, it's terrible. It's terrible to have any prejudice against anybody. But I'm just like, it's just no good. I mean, like, how could that be true? You know, what universe?
Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Like, just like everyone in England is just like a professor, and all the Jamaicans are just like, every day is great. Oh, it's brilliant. You know,
Nothing gets done.
It's fine. You know, oh, I'm having a great time here on the beach. My dog just died and my wife divorced me, but I'm loving life. You know, it's just like every day is just having a great time. Permanently, you know, it's just so funny. And Irish people, we're just always doing Irish dancing, just constantly. You know, we don't sleep, even when we do, but our legs are up like that. You know, just imagine. In fairness, life would be really fun if people literally were just their stereotypes. It would be like the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean? It would just be. The Chinese literally just doing math all day. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was just only their stereotype.
Question. So, I was watching something, and then it said, I like Chinese food or something like that. So they were speaking to someone, obviously Chinese.
Oh, it's Chinese New Year today. Happy Chinese New Year. Xinnian Kuai
Is that today? I thought that was. Oh, that is today.
I think like the eve. Today. I think the eve was like yesterday. So sometimes people celebrate. You know what I mean? They might celebrate on the midnight, but it's today. Like, yeah.
Happy Chinese New Year. Lunar New Year. I actually researched that because I was like, someone was doing fireworks the other day, and I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? Why are there fireworks? But yeah, someone was saying, that if you used to have like Chinese food, it's like, oh yeah, but at home you wouldn't call it Chinese food, you just call it food, right?
Right, yeah, it's the classic joke.
And I was like, I've never actually been anywhere and noticed that it's just called food. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I suppose it does make, you know, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's like degrees, isn't it? Like, so if you go to, well, maybe not. Like, I'm trying to think, like restaurants, they're always branded as something, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, so if it's just, if it was like here, it'll be like a Chinese restaurant. But if you were in China, it'd be like a Sichuan style restaurant or like a Shanghai restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, they'll just, that, you know, there's very few restaurants in the world that are just like food restaurant. Come eat food here. Food good you eat now. You know, there's always some, like, you always have to have some angle. Food hole.
No, I mean, like, I've never been in the country and noticed that it's like, that it's not called.
Right.
I don't know, like, oh, this is not like Jamaican food. It's okay, right? It's chicken. There's curry. And I actually realized, like, I've never actually noticed that when I'm there. It's not until like that person said that, and I was like, I've never actually really thought about it and been like,
It is.
I'm in Cuba, and then like, you know, they're not like, oh, this is not Cuban food. It's just food. Okay, so it's chicken. It's fish. It's whatever. I was like, I really missed that part. Like, I could have really like basked in the fact that it's actually.
I got you. You didn't bask.
It's not
you didn't bask.
There's not like a country label on it. Like,
is that?
Yeah.
Did you like go up to your Cuban relatives and say, you've got to try this Cuban place down the road? Oh, it's so good. The Cuban food there. I mean, it's not the best I've ever had, but it's pretty good.
Well, actually, I went to Cuba. There was this restaurant, and they did everything, which is very strange. It's meant to be like a Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
But it was more like
Chinese Cubans, if you will.
Yeah, it was just like this fusion of everything, because they did chips there, they did burgers, it was just like, okay. And like the portion sizes were absolutely ridiculous. ridiculous. Like I got sweet and sour prawns, and like normally you'd get like maybe like a small like little bowl or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it was a portion of like for 3 people, and they gave it
Nice.
to you for one, and it was cheap as. And I was just like, this is the lie.
This is,
This is
by the
so
way,
good.
Chanel,
But yeah,
can I explain to you
so
how,
nice.
I mean, like how completely annoying it is you describing a delicious food dish to me that is in fucking Cuba during fucking COVID. So like even if I was a demented millionaire, I couldn't go and get it right now. You know what I mean? I couldn't fly there even if I wanted to. Or I could do, but I'd have to wait for 2 weeks in a hotel or whatever the fuck they do in
Well,
Cuba.
I'm sorry, but yeah, it was really like that was like our place. Like we was after, was like, this is
That
so
does
good.
sound good. That does sound good. Did it taste like different sweet and sour prawns here, or just the same? Just out of interest. Like that's what I hope.
No, it tasted different. It tasted good, and the fact that it was loads of it. But yeah,
Take that, sweet and sour prawns of the UK.
it was good because it was like you wasn't left like like here you can count the fucking prawns, right?
I know what you're saying, but you're doing a lot of emphasis on the quantity over quality here.
Yes.
I was just talking about taste.
Is, like, it tasted really good, but it was the fact that I was so satisfied that there was enough. I wasn't left going, oh, that was so good, but I wish there was more.
Okay, yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's normally a trade-off.
Tasty. It was good quality.
That's good. That's yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, because there's nothing worse than actually. You know what? Honest to God, it's worse to have something that's delicious when they give you like a small portion.
Yeah,
you're like now
fight someone. Like
it's the worst because now you're like before I didn't even know I was missing out. Now I know I'm missing out. Now I'm still hungry and I'm annoyed. You know, I'm like, give me enough for a human being, or 2 human beings, whatever. I'll eat that or 3, whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is, don't I hate when you're in a nice, it doesn't even have to be a nice restaurant. It's not like about that. It's just, but some restaurants are just like, okay, we'll just give you 3 little slivers of this. That's as much as you can handle. I'm like,
yeah, then they want to come with that crap and be like, oh, well, that's, this is the correct portion size. Did I ask you to watch my portion size? I didn't ask you. I wouldn't. I've come here. I've paid for the fucking food. Give me what I paid for. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Go back in that fucking kitchen. I'm the customer. Get back in that kitchen and bring me out an inflatable children's swimming pool full of fucking prawns. That's the appropriate portion size. You can't make this shit that delicious and then be like, just giving it to me like in an envelope. Back the truck up to my face.
I want to be full so then I can be like, and then leave some still and be like, oh, I can take this home. So I can have this party again later on, or maybe the next day. Like
Alan, why is there a half-inflated children's swimming pool full of sticky goo in the fridge? Just takeaway.
There is nothing worse. I can't stand, right, when something is so good, especially when you order like a takeaway or something, and it's so good, but there's only enough for like that one sitting. Like, what the hell? Like, I want it to be where there's enough for me to leave some behind and I can have that the next day because I don't give a damn. Food always tastes better the next day.
Oh yeah, there's
110%.
It's on very few exceptions. Very few exceptions. Cold pizza, I love a bit of cold pizza the next day. Particularly if it's
put
like
that in a frying pan. Put that in a frying pan and let it crisp.
I'll do both. If it's got, the thing is with pizza is like if it's very thick, chewy, greasy pizza, then I like it when it's cold. But if it's a thinner base, then yeah, I do the frying thing. But you can do it for both. All right, Cam. See, when I'm talking about pizza, you have the option. You can go away and get some of that if you want to. I've got to get on a fucking plane to Cuba to fulfill my food blue ball dreams that you give me with this goddamn delicious Cuban food. Cuban restaurant. I think we should open a Cuban restaurant.
It was good.
That does sound good. I thought, I had Chinese food in Spain too, and I was like, yeah, I'm less gone on this Chinese Spanish fusion. I didn't like that as much as like UK Irish Chinese food. Although whatever. Who's gonna buy my chilies? Nobody eats spicy food in this fucking country. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
There was there was a Ghanaian restaurant down the road from me when I lived in Croydon that was really good. I ate there a couple of times though. Ghanaian
What
food.
did you eat from there?
I don't have no idea. I can't remember what the fuck it was, man. But I just never eaten Ghanaian food before, and I was like, this is great. They do like they give you like fucking like dough. It's kind of like a dough, like you know, like the I don't know, almost like a like a dough, almost like I'm like this is like pre-baked bread, like a ball of goop. It was great. Anyway, I was just like,
maybe that might be. Is it called Gary or?
Charlie? No.
Like, no, because I'm not that clued up on Ghanaian food.
Yeah.
But I know there's like a big debate between Ghanaian jollof rice and Nigerian jollof rice.
Okay.
And it's like, which one is better?
All right.
I don't know. I just know I like jollof rice. And if I say that I like jollof rice better than rice and peas, it's making people want to get upset. But I could eat jollof rice all by itself because it is a meal all by itself because the rice is just rice and peas. You have to have that with something. You can't.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, but I think that's a fair caveat. The rice and peas is good, but I know what you mean. Like it's not like a dish unto itself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Jollof rice can be eaten by itself.
Yeah.
You want to eat by itself.
I think that's a fair criticism, but I can see you being very tentative. You're like, I don't need to be in this comment section getting under fire here.
But you know what? To be fair, I remember I said it, and I actually said it to one of my cousins. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "But it's true. You tell me, have you ever gone and been like, oh, rice and peas, and just dished out a whole bowl of rice and peas and just been like, yeah, let me just sit here with no gravy and just eat it?" No.
Come on.
I can have a bowl full of jollof rice and eat that and be, happy days.
Perfect. You know, that's it. If you wanted just something quick, you could go in, get a bowl of jollof rice and then go off and do whatever you're doing afterwards. But if you went into a restaurant and asked for rice and peas and they'd be like, and you were like, that's it, they would just be like, okay, lunatic. You know what I mean?
You don't want gravy with that? Like, do you want some oxtail gravy? You know?
No.
So you might get little bits of meat in there or something. You have to have gravy with that. You can't just be like, yeah, right.
Oh, man. Dude, you don't even get a drink. You just clegging that down.
It's gonna be one dry ride. You're gonna do like
they come over. Are you okay? Are you sure you don't want some gravy? I said no. No. I've committed to this. I've got to prove my cousin wrong. The paramedics wheeling you out of the restaurant.
Oh my days! You know, like the rice and peas hanging from your lips, like, no, man. No.
The peas. The thing that's good about dying with rice and peas in your mouth is like the peas can roll out and roll along the floor, very cinematic, you know. And then when your cousin. Then when they haul your cousin away, you can look down at the couple of peas that are left on the floor and be like, "What have I done?" as you eat your bowl of jollof rice, just delighted with yourself. Ha ha ha! Winner! Yes, that's right. This is how we win. God damn it.
Oh, now you're making me want jollof rice.
I was gonna say I'm fucking starving now. This is terrible. It's like 4:00 and I'm ready for a fucking jollof rice, fucking Cuban food, Chinese food, Ghanaian. I want a whole buffet right now. God damn it. And I got no options down here, so I'm gonna have to fucking cook something.
So you don't have like what's your takeaway?
The takeaway situation in Khmer, like at the best of times, is not a lot, and now it's basically fucking zero. You know, because it's just there is a burger place in town that I think still does takeaway, or at least it did. That's actually meant to be really, really good. It's run by some American bloke who's like, I don't know, fulfilling his dream to run a burger shop in Kenmare. People are different. What can I say? I mean, I'm down here, you know, building a chili farm when no one likes spicy food. You know what I mean? Who am I in my glass house literally throwing stones? Huh? Fucking asshole I am. But yeah, no, there's basically no takeaway at the moment. But hopefully if things de-COVID arise in the summer, I think there's more restaurants and stuff open up. Because like, I don't know, you probably, if you can see out the lovely window, the weather out the window, Chanel, it's not exactly tourist season out there. It's pretty fucking,
yeah, it looks
pretty
it's
fucking
still
bleak.
grey.
Yeah. That's, but it's okay. That only lasts 8-10 months of the year. You know, the rest is lovely. I got my car cleaned. That was good. My Jeep is clean now. I sent it to.
I know it's a nice ride there. You only told me about it. I've never actually seen your.
Oh yeah, you just thought I was on a bicycle and I'm just making all this up. See, you probably didn't even think I had a kitchen or a typewriter. Well, now who's laughing, huh? Oh yeah.
How did the typewriter get in? How did you get it?
I got it. I bought it on eBay.
No, I know that. But you said about the postman, and we was talking about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that he would throw it in the window.
Yeah.
So I just basically I got lucky. It was just one of the days where when it arrived that I was there, or I heard his van running downstairs like it's Santa Claus. Except if Santa Claus smashed all of your purchases on the fucking floor if you didn't get there in time, that kind of a Santa Claus. So yeah, I just caught it in time. But I will say, whoever fucking sent it to me did a shit job packaging it. It was upside down. That little metal handle was jamming. It was out the box, you know? And it was like, I love this. I love the bad packaging job, right? On the box in pen, written like a murder note written by a psychopath in like scratchy big letters. It said, "This way up," right? Okay, all right, that's a good effort. It's a good effort, you know? But you you can't, you have to do more than just that. When you say this way up, you have to realize that, you know, you say this way up, but no one's gonna listen to that thing and turn it on. And I opened it up and it was like in a big box, and it had a bit of like newspaper scrunched on top of it, and like about 7 of those little packing peanuts, those little polystyrene things. It was like a fucking snow globe, you know. I was like, this is worse than nothing. This is worse than nothing, because like if you just put it in the box and just like fuck it, then I'm like, okay, fine, you didn't give a fuck. But I'm like, somebody looked at that and were like, yeah, that they're not magic. Those little fucking that's the thought process. You can have a box this fucking big with 4 or 5 packing peanuts in it and a typewriter, and that's safe as houses now. Like, I'm lucky it got here in one piece, all upside down with like 4 just floating, like sort of just.
Did you write that
peanuts.
in your review?
No, I haven't written that yet in the review, because I don't know, I might need to contact them to ask them about this or that yet. But just the packing peanuts just floating on top of it like fucking survivors of the Titanic, just fucking dotted about. The fuck, man. I love the bad packaging, you know, because I always do this imagining thing where I'm like, somebody looked at that and was like, nice job. You know, like they were just like, you know, that thing,
well pleased with themselves, like, yeah,
just yes, delighted. Or they're just like, yeah, that'll do. Either way it's funny. I like getting things because it's like a little time capsule of half-assery that you get to open.
The joys.
I like packages though. I like the postman drops things off here all the time because I'm always buying bits and bobs online. But I had a new bit about online shopping in my little 5 minutes of COVID comedy I did the other day. It's quite good. About ordering stuff and not remembering you've ordered it. And the bit is like, it's like being stalked by a psychopath version of yourself, you know, that's sending you presents that you didn't ask for, you know. It is sort of like that. Sometimes stuff arrives and you're like, what the fuck did I order this? The fuck is this? But what was the last package you got, Chanel? When was the last time you got something good?
You say it like I didn't order it myself.
Well,
like what it's something you got? Like, did you even know that it was coming? Did you know what it was? I ordered canvases, the right these ones like behind me.
okay.
Ordered some more of those. That was the last thing that I actually ordered.
Wait, so is that like it's like a picture, but it's on like a little frame? Is that what that is? A canvas? Is that what you mean? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So that's what I did. That's it.
What's
I
that
haven't
one?
ordered anything else. Pretty sad.
What's the pink font one say? I can't read that.
Oh, it says mindsethub.com.
Ah, very good. Very nice. Okay. Got the promo. You got the merch. Yeah. Maybe we should get some chit chat merch. I'll look. Maybe we should get some of that. What will we get? We get mugs.
Yeah, I think because we're always drinking something.
That's true. We're always drinking out of our own faces, our own branded mug with our own faces on it. That's really sort of narcissistic, isn't it? That's good.
Just a little bit.
Just like, delicious.
Hey ho.
Hello, little me. Yeah. That's it. I wanted to get Jillian and the other podcast. I said I wanted to get little dolls of her made, just because I thought that would be amusing. Little Jill dolls of her made, but she was very afraid when I said that, so I backed.
Yeah, because it's coming from you, so I understand where she's coming from.
I know. I was saying I'll just mail her a doll of herself. But I was like, wouldn't you like a little Chanel action figure? Wouldn't that be not a bobblehead now? You know, I looked into bobbleheads. You can get them made up easy enough, but I feel like that's a bit played out.
Why I feel like I would like a bobblehead.
You feel like you would or wouldn't?
I would.
Just get one.
Because people always used to call me a big head when I was younger.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so big head, and I'm like, my head's not big, for fuck's sakes. But
well, I have no evidence that your head wasn't big. Maybe you've just grown into your head over time.
I feel like my head's always been the same size, so then that basically means when I did grow into my head.
I was gonna say, if that's the case, then oh my God, Chanel, just like a baby, a tiny baby with your gigantic head on it. Why are people making fun of me?
I've always thought that my head was in proportion with my body.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
All right. Okay.
So I never understood why people would call me big head. And I was just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I was not in denial. I just didn't understand it because I'm looking at my head and I'm like, I don't think my head is big for my body. So, but yeah.
Maybe you were just surrounded. Maybe you were just surrounded by a bunch of pinheads, Chanel. Maybe you just got a bunch of tiny head friends, and they're trying to make you feel bad for your normal sized head. I can't wait to see a picture of you, all your schoolyard chums, and they all have these tiny little heads.
It's possible. It's possible. Anything is possible.
Shrunk head Billy and the gang. Hey.
Actually, I had a friend called Billy, which is quite hilarious.
How big is his head? You know, that's measure his dome. Big head. That's not a bad insult though. Out of all the things of you that could be big or small, having a big head, she's like, yeah, I'm clever. Got a big brain. At least you weren't like, I don't know.
But then does that mean you have a big brain?
Elbows or something?
It doesn't mean that you have a big brain. It just means that you could just have a lot of fluid in there, and then your brain's in there just wobbling along. Well,
that's all the more reason to be a bobblehead. Then your brain can kind of bounce in the ocean like a little snow globe.
If your brain's big doesn't mean that you're smarter.
This is very true. It normally means you've got some crippling disease, I suppose. But it's sort of true, isn't it? Don't mean to be unpleasant about it, but it's not a great thing. Yeah, so maybe not saying that's you, Chanel. You have a regular size head. We've established. You've grown into your head. I just can't stop thinking about you as a baby now with your full adult head. That's just God damn it, that's funny. Snow globes. We should get promotional snow globes. That's what we should get. Just you and me in a snow globe. With your huge head. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can't stand you sometimes. But yeah, so we should do some merch. But I was thinking of doing some merch for my business anyway.
What would be mindset huggy merch you would do? I mean, get like mugs and pens and all this crap you can do, but like, is there anything particular to coaching that would be useful?
I would have t-shirts more than anything because people like clothes. Probably like a comfortable kind of like jumpsuity kind of thing.
Nice.
Oh, hello. On brand.
Now, yeah, very nice, very good. You know, I'm a fan anyway. As long as you can make it, you know, fluorescent pink and green, and call it Lady Man or whatever brand that was. Yeah, you know, let me know. I'll be the first to purchase some Mindset Hug toothpaste tracksuits. Looking forward to that. I've really come around to that. I'm really enjoying that now. Yeah, that's good. I tell you, man, I'm wearing that all the time now. I love it. I just lounging around my house like some Russian oligarch. It's great. Like a toothpaste magnate relaxing in his comfy chair.
Wow.
Did you ever, I know you have to go probably in a sec, but did you ever, because you look fidgety, you look like, get me out of here.
I looked at the time and I was like, oh, okay, right. So we've gone over an hour, so that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But have you ever watched? Yeah, that's it. That's the fucking problem. I've no food in the house because I've been painting. I haven't traveled. I haven't gone to the shops all week, so I've no food in the fucking house now, and I'm fucking starving. I don't even have a banana to my name. Helen Banana Burn. Did you ever watch the X-Files? Did you ever watch the X-Files?
Yes, I told you about the thing that comes up out of the toilet.
Oh yes, that's right. Of course, yes. Of course. I forgot about that. But anyway, I've been rewatching the X-Files, and like, I was like, my friend Ben, who does the other podcast, he was like, I think the X-Files looks kind of stupid. I'm not really interested in watching it. I was like, no, Ben, it's really good. It's a really good show, and literally, it's, you know, it's funny, but there's some great acting in it. And then like literally the next episode that came on of the X-Files was one in which an invisible elephant escapes from a zoo and kills people. And I was like, this show is so fucking stupid.
I do not remember that one.
Dude, I think what I did was, like, I don't know, I didn't really used to watch lots of it, but I watched an episode or whatever. I think I remembered the few episodes that are like really quite good, and I erased the ones.
Scary and
yeah, right.
I don't remember that elephant one. I really don't remember, and I used to watch it like religiously, and I do not remember an invisible elephant.
I think what's happened is we've like remembered the ones that are good and erased the ones that are absolute fucking dog shit. And it was supposed to be the other one. It was like. Oh, after that, there was another one that was... Now, the one I'm watching now is this guy, his shadow kills people. If people stand in his shadow, if his shadow touches them, they get like vaporized. I'm like... And they're like, it's physics. He was in a physics reactor. He got irradiated. So now his shadow kills people. There's no fucking universe in which that makes any kind of sense. Something, and you know, but the thing is, like, they still treat it seriously. Like Scully's like, it doesn't make sense. Mulder's like, some things you gotta believe, Scully. You've got to believe. I'm like, no, you don't, man. You can't be believing in invisible elephants. Come on, come the fuck on. I want to believe as well, but I don't want to believe that fucking hard.
I'm like, don't believe you about that episode, to be honest. I have to do it myself because that makes no freaking sense.
Google it up, man. There's an invisible elephant in it. There's an invisible, I think, a lion at one point. It's like, what's supposed to have happened is the aliens have abducted these zoo animals and they've put them back sort of invisible by mistake, or they stay or like it's not actually invisible. The elephant's somewhere else, but the force of the elephant is impacting people far away. So I'm sorry. I made it sound so ridiculous when it's actually quite serious and important.
And the fact that you're trying to explain it. I understand, Ben. Makes sense, Ben. I get it. And I've been watching Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
I know that. Is that an old show? Is that a new show?
Yeah, it's old school. Like, so they would have like episodes where like episodes, or I don't know, what would you call like little
clippy mini
shows, things,
yeah,
whatever that is.
I think there's still episodes.
It's like I think it's like 5, and then you have like one is obviously they just made it up, and then one's facts, one fiction.
Oh, okay.
Blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of it, you kind of have to like, they'll ask you like, what did you think? Did you think someone was facts, fiction, blah, blah, and then they tell you.
All right. Okay.
I really enjoyed that. I was like, oh, this is so good. And then finding out some of the stuff and you're like, no freaking way. And they're like, yeah, this actually happened in and you're like,
okay.
Like
where are these? Are these like on fucking YouTube and stuff? Nice.
On the Titanic, a guy actually wrote a story about, it was called The Titan, and it basically was how the Titanic had basically hit iceberg, all that kind of stuff. And this was how many years before? I don't know, was it 20 years before or maybe something like that?
Right.
And he had this whole thing about this Titan, wrote the story, and then
nice.
Here comes the Titanic.
Dude, he was writing. Kate Winslet gets banged in the back of a car. He wrote it all down. He knew in advance, but he had to change a couple of things. Her name was Bate Kinslet or something like that. He didn't, just different enough.
Not the movie, the real thing, Alan.
I guess the real woman's name probably wasn't Kate Winslet. That'd be a coincidence, wouldn't it? If her be. And just my mind, I'm just
I've never actually watched that movie. I've never watched that one. I've watched the older ones, like when they normally come on TV, but I've never actually watched the Kate Winslet and
I don't. Leonardo, the what's his face?
Never watched that one.
You never watched? Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was big, whatever, in the cinema, and everyone was mad about it. But did I actually ever see it in the cinema? I think I must have done, but I don't. It's not. Well, if you're into it, it's great, and if you're not into it, it's kind of like I don't really care. But it's not bad. I don't think it was bad. I think it was quite. If I remember correctly, it was. It was good, but. I just don't get. It was really big, wasn't it, when it came out? Like people were mad about it when it came out, and I kind of like. Why? What was it about? Celine Dion, she is like, she reminds me of like a whale or something, She's in terms of the noises that come out of her, not in terms of her looking like a whale or anything like that.
Oh. Because they just keep swimming.
I'm like, get her back in the water. I feel like she's kind of, get away from her, you Japanese bastards. It's kind of got a whaley echolocation kind of.
You sound like a dog gone wrong. The dog starts howling to the music. You don't sound like a whale.
Yes. Wow, that's it. I got to work on my. Well, boy, oh boy, do I have to ever work on my Celine Dion / whale impression. If that's the kind of feedback I'm getting, how will I ever get on The Voice?
That's not happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah, one of those dreams.
Definitely
It's like you can encourage people to a certain extent, and then you have to realize now you're just being mean if you encourage them.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean to you, Alan. I don't want to be mean to you.
I think that's very fair, Chanel. I will take that feedback to heart. I think I'm gonna let me put away my application to The Voice. Would you ever? Ben wants to apply to be on because he's a game show guy. He wants to apply, or he likes watching game shows. To be on, what's it called? Charity shop rummage fest or something like that, where you have to find bargains in a charity shop. Anyway, he's applied for both me and him to be on it.
What,
so I'm quite.
Hunt?
Yes, there we go. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it. Is it good? He wants me and him to go on it as a team.
Fuck it. Right. It's like if you get like, it's like any of those kind of shows. If you get the right contestants, it can be interesting to watch. But like, you see, the people are kind of like rips. You kind of like,
it's
okay.
That makes sense because there's not enough underlying interest. Like, because if you've got a really exciting premise for a show, having boring people in it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, Derek's really boring. Yeah, but he's being eaten by an alligator, so I think I'm gonna keep watching. Whereas if he's just looking through some old anoraks in a secondhand shop, it's not exactly. But I mean, if me and Ben were on it, hey, laugh a minute. Look at this, Ben. I found the dildo in the secondhand dildo in the charity shop. Comedy. We'll fill in the details afterwards. It writes itself. But would you be on a game show? What?
I said, would you do come down with me? No, I wouldn't be, to be fair. No.
No? You wouldn't be? No. Why not? You're not up for being on a game show, Chanel. You could promote your brand. Mindset Hug t-shirts.
I don't like fake stuff. I don't like it. Like, when you can watch a show and you can tell that they've been prompted to say stuff and act a certain way. I don't like it because I can't hide my disgust, my annoyance.
And you can't not see it as well. Some people can kind of not see it if they don't want to see it, but you see it, like the fakiness. But what about would you watch like a cookery program as well? Because what annoys me about them is they're just like, only 3 seconds left to chop the onion. Dun dun dun. I'm like, the fuck? No. I was like, come on, man, that's not real. That you just edited that together. There's no way people are like, every time someone's cooking whatever the fuck it is, don't, we've only got a second to get the mushrooms onto the thing. I was like, do none of these people have watches? Why are they so taken by surprise at the end of this thing every time? Oh shit! Like, most of them finish probably about 10 minutes before the end. They're just like, yeah, we're kind of done now, so I'm just going to be on my phone until the timer runs out, They just cut that part out and they just cut back to the part where he's just like, oh, I'm putting a strawberry on top of a fucking thing.
No, I cook really slow, so I couldn't. Like, you can't time me and think that, like, I'm going to be able to do something in an hour.
I would just love to see a show where you're just...
This takes, like, half an hour, and you're like, you fucking liar. No, it doesn't. Like, you've got to take this stuff out. You've got to wash it. You've got to chop it up. And then there's no way does a meal take half an hour. It just doesn't, no, it doesn't. Not for me. And then I also wash up slow as well. So I need to wash up my stuff. It could take me 10 minutes to wash up, like, I don't know.
I just like the idea of like, done, the timer's running out and you're just like, you haven't even like taken the ingredients out of your shopping bag yet. And you're just like, all right. And then like all the crew's gone home, the cameraman, they've turned off all the lights. You're just still in the studio, just cooking away. Be like, I do it at my pace. I don't give a fuck.
It's gonna be good when it's done.
It's gonna be good when it's
done. Don't rush me.
Come back the next day, they're moving the set. They're getting it ready for like a crime procedural. They're moving to like a dead body in and fucking, the police. They've changed it into a police station and you're still cooking.
Anyone hungry? I did some research on Come Down With Me. This was by accident. Well, not by accident, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I have to. But I remember watching Come Down With Me, and there was an episode where the woman was voting, but she was voting like really tactical, basically being a bitch. To say like she's gone and she said, oh, the food was so nice, it was so great. But then she's scoring them like a 1, a 2, or a 3 or something. So they realized this is what she was doing. So they said, no, you have to re-score everybody, or you need to basically like go. So I was like, oh, I want to watch that episode. So I went down the rabbit hole, as you do, trying to see if I could find this episode anywhere and trying to find out like what episode it was, blah, blah. Anyway, I couldn't find it, but I realized that it wasn't like a Mandela effect where it didn't happen. It was the episode. I went on this thread thing, and then it basically said how this episode did happen, but no one actually said when it was or whatever. Anyway, so then it started talking about how the show is actually done. So like they will sometimes not leave there until like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yikes.
The person's house. The food's normally cold because they get the contestants to cook earlier, and then like say for instance, they'll be like, oh no, we need to get this shot done off the plate, or you doing this, you doing that. So then by the time they've got all the shots in, like the food's been sitting there for ages,
cold.
And then the people who are gonna obviously eat, then they mark them down for cold food, and it's like it's not their fault, it's production's fault. It's what it is. And then they get there at about like 4 in the afternoon. And you kind of feel like, oh, okay, yeah, they're probably getting there at like 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, so they're there from like about 4. They don't leave until 3 a.m.
Yikes, man. Yikes.
And they're doing this for like, depending on how many people there are, they could be doing this like 4 times.
Damn, that's
like,
quite a job, yeah.
5 times. And they only get £125 to buy all the stuff. And then the people in the house get told they have to leave and basically like don't come back because they don't want to mess up production and whoever else lives in the house.
Yeah. Getting kicked out of your own fucking house because John wants to win. Fucking, that's great.
And then they leave in a taxi. Well, this is what you make us believe, that they basically do the scoring in the black taxi, right?
Okay.
They only do the scoring in the black taxi, and then they drive around the block in the black taxi, do their scoring.
Right.
That gets filmed, and then they get out of the black taxi and go in a normal basic bitch car and then take them home. So it's not a black taxi ride all the way home. Nah.
What cheapskates as well, man. Just doing the taxi, they wouldn't even let you. That's great. It's funny. I kind of half love, half hate that behind the scenes stuff though, because it is interesting to see how it's actually done, and also it's interesting to show like just how. I'm not saying in this case they can't really cook or whatever the fuck, but how totally fake it is. Like to get, because you do it. I mean, I know I shot that short film or whatever. Like to get the number of shots for an incredibly short sequence takes fucking forever because like, you know, you have to get the lighting right for each shot and things like that. But it's crazy like how much effort and how much like fuckery you need just to get it to look natural. That's the thing that's fucked up. To make it look natural, you have to do it in this totally convoluted, unnatural, crazy way. Anyway, man.
But then does it take away from the end product? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, getting all these shots of the food. Like, for me, my main thing when I watch the show is I want to know what the end product looks like. So when they say, oh, I'm making like a souffle or whatever, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see that last little shot where they do when they plate it up. I just want to see what it looks like, and then the people to taste it and be like, oh yeah, okay. But I don't really care about making it. Main thing when they're making it, it's like, do they lick the spoon and put it back in?
That'd be an important shot to get in or not.
Like, is it clean or not? And like when you see sometimes the people will use the spoon, taste and then go back in, and I'm like, none of you fuckers could have said, don't double dip. Because you're not feeding your family or just yourself. You're feeding a whole bunch of people and you just fucking double dip today, brother. Like, I just think that all people with pets, and then the pets are all walking all over the side.
I can't do that. I can't do that, man.
It's filth. That's why I couldn't do Come Down With Me, because if you're dirty, you're dirty. And I don't want to come to your house and then I'm like a woman, there was one, she had rice. So she'd done like, you know, when people do like the little, put it in the bowl to kind of like get it into the little...
Yeah, make it shape or whatever.
Yeah. And as the woman's eating her rice, she's broken it open, like there was a spider in there.
That's great. That's
in
great.
her rice.
That's
and
great.
then she was like, oh, this is like, and then almost like, oh, I don't know how that got it. Bitch, how are you laughing? There's a spider in my rice, and then you offer me more. I don't want to eat here anymore. Like the night, I'm not eating nothing from you. Like it's not happening.
I think I'll eat a spider in the rice. I'll eat a spider because it could have gotten into the bag, but I can't do cats and dogs in the kitchen, especially cats, because the hair gets everywhere.
Yeah,
Hair gets I'm not into that. I'm not into cats in general anyway, or animals in the house in general anyway. But I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, you've really put me off to go dine with me now, even though I've never even really watched it. But I definitely don't want to watch. This is good, actually. You made me less hungry again now. I've sort of come back the other. Yeah, to start with, I was like, oh yeah, Cuban food. Now I'm just thinking of like fucking cat hair and spiders. I'm like, ugh. Oh, thank you.
There's some people that wash their meat as well. They don't wash their meat or wash their
yes.
hands. They touch the animal and they're like, oh, and then you've gone back to making food. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's gross. Like, wash the shit. Like, wash it. Season it. Ugh, gross.
Hey man, listen, I know people have different standards and different preferences. That's fine, but I'm like, don't pet your fucking dog and then fucking stick your hand into what I'm having, or cat and stick your hand into what I'm having for dinner. It's gross. Plus, also now, isn't your cat now covered in whatever goop you just had on your fucking hand? Now you got a cat running around your house covered in fucking chicken juice. That's not great either. Firstly, the other cats are gonna bite the head off the fucking thing because now it stinks like a fucking chicken.
You've got a bloody salmonella running around your house. But yeah, just no thanks. So yeah, one of the things I did think, come down with me. That would have been great to be on. And then when I kind of did my research, and I was just like, no, I'm okay.
Well, you know what you've made me realize now, Chanel? I need to go away and I need to read. What was the name of the show? Fucking secondhand charity gangbang. What was it called?
Bargain Hunt.
Bargain Hunt. Yeah, close enough. Oh, it's close. I'm gonna do my. I've got to do my research on Bargain Hunt now because Ben's going to try and sign us up for this thing. What if Bargain Hunt, you've got to get to the charity shop at 3 a.m. and they make you hunt through 200 bins of dirty fucking clothes before they make you go through the bags to find the good stuff. You got to go through the bags they haven't even sorted yet. Where it's all in. God bless people who sort clothes in charity shops. Those black bags of doom. Someone's just left. Just a bag of shit someone's left on your front house. You know what I mean? I know people are like, they give this money to charity, or they don't do this, or they don't do that. Let me tell you, if you're rummaging through bags of secondhand shit for charity, I think you're a hero. You get my vote, man. You get my vote, but also, you're not going to be cooking my dinner. That's all I'm saying. Not with those fucking hands. Sorry. No, thank you. That's the ultimate, Chanel. Rummage. Oh, well, I also run a charity shop. So these are just a bunch of secondhand underpants that we get sent in from now as, and I'm also in the middle of cooking my jollof rice, there you go. Just putting in hands full of rice, handful of underpants. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. That's the ultimate game show right there. Charity shop. Come dine with me. Come charity shop with me.
No.
Wow.
Why, Alan?
Why not? I'll tell you why, because you were fucking torturing me describing that Cuban food that I'll never get to eat, no matter what. So you had it coming. You get it. You reap the whirlwind.